Hey guys, Jacob with Jacob Comics. Alright, we have a really fun episode. We're going to be reviewing Amazing Spider Man 13. Um, got the two goblins going on in this issue, and we're going to see how that plays out. Now, before we get dived into Amazing Spider Man 13, I do want to let you guys know about the 600 subscriber giveaway. When we hit 600 subscribers, we'll be giving this book away. It's a Marvel #1. All you have to do is like the video, comment down below, and be subscribed to the channel. And that'll give you a chance. And when we hit 600, we'll raffle the book off. Let's go ahead and get dived into Amazing Spider Man 13. Now, as always, there are a couple things we got to cover before we get completely dived into it. First off, I want to let you know we're going to be going heavy into spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled for Amazing Spider Man 13, that's your warning. Next, we always got to shout out the creative team because without the creative team, we wouldn't have a comic book, right, guys? So on Amazing Spider Man 13, we have Zeb Wells as the writer, John Romita Jr. as the penciler. Scott Hanna is doing inks. Marcio Menez is on colors. And VC's Joe Caramagna is doing letters. There is a foreword. I'll go ahead and read that to get everybody caught up. And that says Peter Parker has the proportional speed, strength, and agility of a spider, adhesive fingertips and toes, and the unique precognitive awareness of danger called spider sense. After the tragic death of his Uncle Ben, Peter Parker understood that with great power there must also come great responsibility. He became the crime fighting superhero called the Amazing Spider Man. Peter has his life pretty well put together. He's got a date with the Black Cat coming up. He's got a good job in the engineering field, though it's weird to work for a reformed villain Norman Osborn's Oscorp. But with that classic Parker luck, things can never go too well for the webhead. Case in point, Spider-Man is going head to head with not one but two hobgoblins. Peter's friend Ned Leeds and the first and original Roderick Kingsley. Roderick is again messing with Ned's head, and it's led to nothing but pain for Ned and his wife Betty and their newborn baby Winston. Can Spider Man help them? Hey, can Spider Man even survive this? Probably not. As we start, and we see Norman Osborn still in the hospital. He's yelling for a nurse, and he's watching on his computer, Spider-Man basically fighting the two hobgoblins and telling them, send the police to 75th and 193rd Street in Queens, or I'll buy this hospital and personally fire you. My employee is in serious trouble. And then we go to the fight that's taking place, right? And Spider-Man's thinking, if you're wondering whether the Hobgoblin is Ned Leeds or Roderick Kingsley, the answer is yes. It's not a whole lot of fun, frankly. As we see, it's basically both, they're both hobgoblins, right? Like the forward said. And he's fighting, running from them. It's pretty tough with two of them chasing him. As you can see, he ends up on his spider glider, just kind of trying to get away at this point, because he can't take on two of them by himself, right? So he's trying to get away. Then it goes back to Norman Osborn, who he loses the signal because during this fight, Spider-Man's been so beaten that his headgear's taken some damage, and so it's not sending out any signal anymore. So Norman's looking at all the specs for the gold goblin suit that he was, or the gold glider suit, if you will, that he was making for Spider-Man. And then we go back to the fight, and just kind of can see like panel by panel, Spider-Man's just he's not doing super well in this fight. He gets cut up by a bunch of by their web gliders, and then the Ned Leeds hobgoblin comes in and kind of like grabs him by the head and just totally zaps Peter. loses his face mask in the process, and he's thinking eyes flashed, can't see, can't. And just as, they're about to finish him, there it is, the first appearance of the Gold Goblin, right there at the Staples too, in a nice 2-page spread by John Romita Jr. And he comes in, takes out one of the hobgoblins, and he says, "I didn't want violence, and now you've got it." And so he ends up kind of taking Kingsley out pretty much, and Kingsley's falling. He's lost his glider, right? And Ned Leeds Hobgoblin comes and catches him. He goes, "I've got you, Kingsley. Together we can punish Osborn for what he did to us." But Kingsley calls him an idiot, punches him, and throws him off the glider, and takes off on his own on the glider, leaving Ned's to be saved by Spider-Man from his fall, webs him by the foot. Of course, Ned's still trying to kill him, and Peter's, he doesn't know what to do at this point. In comes Gold Goblin, punches out the Hobgoblin, and then proceeds to, the best way to describe it, proceeds to hand out some Punisher style justice upon an already unconscious Hobgoblin, just hurting Ned even more. And Peter's like, "He's not moving, he's out cold, okay, you've got to stop now." Norman goes, "Oh yes, of course." So we already see, he's he's either vigilante style mean, or there are still some remnants of the Green Goblin personality in there. We do see here at kind of the wrap up of this, that Norman, his Oscorp people have kind of come on scene, and they're taking care of everything, making sure Spider-Man's okay, giving him the best hospital care without revealing his identity. And then we go on, like next day, Peter pays a visit to Betty and Franklin, the baby, Ned Leeds' his wife and kid, and he's like, "Betty, I wanted to check on you, see how you're doing. I talked to Norman. He's going to get Ned the best lawyer in town. We'll find Kingsley. He won't get away with using him again." And she starts to cry, and she says, "They're going to throw the book at him. He did it to us again. Can't you see? Didn't you hear? Spider-Man must have been mistaken. The police searched Ned's office. They never found a device." So we find out that Ned actually wasn't being mind controlled by Ben Kingsley. It was something else, right? And so then it goes location unknown, and we see Roderick Kingsley, and you're thinking like, okay, he's the main guy, and he's the bad guy, right? But then we see, a hand come in, and they say from off screen, says, "None that you'll remember. Turn your mind off. Now it's in my hands." And Roderick Kingsley seems to be under this person's control. He says, "Yes, turn mind off, your hands." And this unknown person says, "Good boy. I needed 2 of you in the end, but we succeeded. Osborn's back on the road to becoming his true self. His sins have come back to haunt him." And look who it is, guys. It's the Red Goblin. Oh boy, she's back. So there's Goblin Queen, excuse me. So there's Goblin Queen. She's behind the 2 Hobgoblin incident. So they at least revealed something there. Still no idea what's going on with why MJ left Peter. I don't even know if we're ever going to get those answers, guys. I feel like they're not interested in telling that story. They're more interested in just telling a story of what if he wasn't married anymore, and him, and he had interest in MJ, or excuse me, not MJ, had interest in Black Cat and things of that. I think they just want to tell a different story for a while, guys, and I'm actually kind of down for it. I'm having fun with it. The the story's been pretty fast paced through all the issues. Getting to new plot details, at least about the story that they want to tell, right, guys? Um, I'm having fun with it. I know it's not what everybody wanted, right? There's having Peter and MJ broke up for like coming on a year now. It's pretty shocking, but I got to do it. I'm having fun with this book. I like the last run that we might be getting here from Romita Jr. on Amazing Spider-Man, on the run that made him famous. And I'm a sucker for a good story sometimes. So all right, guys, that's what I have today. Amazing Spider-Man 13 gets a thumbs up. All right, guys. Remember, if you like this kind of content, like, comment, be subscribed. I'll enter you to win the 600 subscriber giveaway. All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow, and have a great day.